What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video I am bringing a very fun, spammy, boom full team here to the Retro Cup for Pokemon Go Battle League. Cofagrigus, Alolan Graveler, and Regirock there on the safe swap. What I've noticed from this meta is because it's banning steel types, specifically it's Steel, Dark, and Fairy, but if it's banning steels, that means Pokemon like Bastiodon, Galarian, Stunfisk are no longer in the meta. Pokemon like Azumarill are also no longer in the meta. So there is a lot of Wall Rain, a lot of Ice type Pokemon like Frostlass and Dugong, and a lot of Flyers. So Rock type moves actually do very well in this meta. So this team is really good. It was a lot of fun to use, and let me know what you guys think about it. Let's go and get right into the video. Okay, getting into the first battle here, we have Cofagrigus on the lead versus Shadow Swampert. This is one of the last things you want to see with this team. It's ideal to see it here on the lead, but it is terrible if this thing is hiding in the back. So we're going to go ahead and go for a Dark Pulse now. They're likely going to be shielding, and our goal is to just try to get rid of this Swampert. So we do get a shield right there, which is great. I'm going to look to shield this first one here, this first Hydro Cannon. Actually, yeah, I do decide to shield the first one. And then we're going to try our best to get to the Dark Pulse, but they will get to another one in time. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I know I can tank it. Cofagrigus is pretty tanky, but it is devastating. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Dark Pulse right here after overloading a little bit. And then we are actually going to have to swap out. We're going to have to sacrifice Regirock and look to do our best with Alolan Graveler. Now, like I said at the beginning, because there's no Galarian, Stunfisk, Bastiodons, etc., if there are counters to Grass-type Pokemon, it's going to be Ice and it's going to be Flying. So hopefully we can get to the Stone Edge right there, but we don't, so we're going to have to let this go. And now I have a choice. I think I need to come in with Alolan Graveler. I'm sticking to my guns with what I understand of this meta, being that there's a lot of Wall Rain, Talonflames, etc. So I am going to go ahead and farm down a Shadow Swampert with an Alolan Graveler. Battlers, they are unshielded, and I'm hoping that we can see what they have in the back, and I'm guessing it's going to be very beneficial to us. So first Pokemon up to Alolan Graveler is going to be Abomasnow. You'll love to see it. Stone Edge right here is going to be doing super effective damage, and it is incredible amount. Watch your earbuds. Boom! One-shots it right there, and the last Pokemon is going to be a Frostlass. Here comes the second Stone Edge, and this is why you gotta trust in Alolan Graveler. Boom! One-shots the final Pokemon, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. Like I said about this meta, with the ban of steel types, the Pokemon that are used to counter grass and flying and whatnot are going to be those ice types, which is why I have a double rock team in the back. Now, lead against Magcargo right here is going to be kind of difficult. I really don't want to be shielding a Rock Tomb, but I also don't want to get hit by an Overheat. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Dark Pulse here. Does a decent amount of neutral damage, and we're going to go ahead and let this next charge move go through, hoping that it is in fact Rock Tomb, but it's an Overheat, and that is a devastating amount of damage. Now, we both swap at the same time, and they bring in Galvantula. Now, Regirock right here can get to Stone Edge very quickly, and with that bug typing there and Galvantula, they will not like this charge move, so they are going to be shielding. We'll have to see what Regirock can do in this situation, though, as Discharge and Lunge are going to do a decent amount of damage, and we're going to go ahead and shield it and just try our best to get to another Stone Edge. Now, with each lunge that this Galvantula throws, our attack gets lower and lower. Hopefully, we can still one-shot it after this second shield right here, but it's going to be a tall order as Galvantula is going to be throwing a second lunge. Now, we're going to keep ourselves shield advantage. Like I said, I think Alolan Graveler can sweep most teams as long as you get rid of the hardest meta Pokemon, but we do get to the Stone Edge in time, so it's going to be a matter if this can do enough damage to the Galvantula, and yes, it can. Boom! That is double debuffed Regirock one-shotting, and the final Pokemon is going to be a Drifblim. So we are looking very solid now in this matchup. We're going to overload a little bit and go ahead and go for a Rock Blast here, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Alolan Graveler, especially early. I did these battles. I know this video is on Monday. This is Monday right now when this is launching, but I did these battles on Wednesday of last week because of Germany. So hopefully you guys tuned into that. I am recording this before Germany, so I'm hoping it went really well. I'm sure I had a great time, but we're going to throw the Stone Edge. Boom! One-shot the Drifblim, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. But that's just what I noticed last week. is a lot of players are using Pokemon that are weak to rock-type moves. So we got a Shadow Mewtwo on the lead, obviously very positive for us. Shadow Claw is just ripping through this thing, and we will respect the Psystrike right here. We're going to go ahead and shield. I imagine I can get a shield back with the Cofagrigus here, depending on what decides to swap in, but let's see what they bring in. They're going to bring in Talonflame, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just swap to Graveler. And this is another reason why Graveler is so strong, is Talonflame right here. It's going to be resisting the charge moves, right? Brave Bird still hurts, but it's resisted, and Flame Charge as well doesn't do too much damage. So we can overload just a bit and go ahead and throw a Rock Blast here before they can get to another Flame Charge. If they want to give up a shield here to try to throw another charge move, I will happily shield the next one and farm them down with Volt Switch, because Mewtwo is out of energy and a Rock Blast will probably KO it, and whatever that final Pokemon is in the back, probably weak to rock type moves. So let's see what decides to come in. It's actually going to be a Cherrim right here, so really spicy team for my opponent, but Cherrim still does not like a Stone Edge. It's neutral damage and an incredible amount at that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this Rock Blast right here, forcing the final shield from my opponent. Remember at the beginning of the game, we had Cofagrigus loaded on energy, so I'm going to go ahead and do that fast swap straight into the Dark Pulse to close this game out, because Mewtwo is going to have to come in, face off against Cofagrigus, Regirock, and Alolan Graveler, which is going to be a tall order for it. So good game, very well played to my opponent. Really spicy team, love to see it. All right, in this next game, we're actually up against Jimmy Banks, so shout out to him, an old friend of mine from the community and a really great creator as well on Twitch. So we are in a interesting matchup here versus Nidoqueen. I really want to build up to the potential Psychic and looking to force a shield here from him. If I can get a shield early, like I said, we get rid of some of these Pokemon like Shadow Nidoqueen, Alolan Graveler can do a lot better endgame, but we get hit with a lot of lag, and I'm just tapping my heart out. Please let me have the energy, and I just throw the Dark Pulse as quickly as I can once the game catches back up. But unfortunately for him, he did not throw any charge moves during that freeze right there, so I am actually able to get 2 shields, which is pretty huge for me. I'm going to go ahead and shield this one. It is the Earth Power, and I'm reading that maybe he's weak in the back to Cofagrigus, so we do see a swap into Blastoise, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Alolan Graveler right here. Now, Water Gun is actually doing quite a bit of damage. I know I could win this mid-game matchup if I want to by shielding the Hydro Cannon and farming down, but I think I want to keep a shield here for Regirock to close this game out. So we're going to go ahead and let the Hydro Cannon go through. We're going to try our best to come in with Cofagrigus right here and farm down with Shadow Claw. But the thing about Blastoise here is it can get to another Hydro Cannon pretty quickly, and I underestimate that ability. So I'm going to go ahead and shield right here, farm down, and we are going to be in a tough situation. Nidoqueen's loaded on energy. I don't know how much it has because of the lag at the beginning, so I'm going to swap right away into Regirock if I can to catch the charge move, because I'm reading that, I'm thinking maybe there's something in the back weak, maybe a Medicham, maybe a Ghost like Trevenant, I don't know, but I'm going to swap, and I actually catch a Poison Fang, which is huge right there for us. I can feel the Earth Power coming through right now, so I'm going to get boomed, but I think if they do throw Earth Power, I can farm down with Cofagrigus, but it was just another Poison Fang, which is fine by me. They're going to go ahead and swap out, and it's actually going to be a Golbat in the back. So I will overload, throw the Stone Edge right here, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. It's unfortunate facing off against a friend that we had lag. Boom! That we had lag at the beginning. I would have loved to have just a fully clean match. But either way, good games to Jimmy Banks. Be sure to go check him out on Twitch. So good game. Cofagrigus was going to do pretty well against that team anyways, especially with that much loaded energy. But Cofagrigus versus Lurantis now. So a decent matchup for us. Leaf Blade's obviously going to hurt, but I got to keep my back line away from this thing, and it's very spammy as well. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Dark Pulse here, look to get a shield from our opponent, and then again, sweep endgame with Alolan Graveler if we can. So we do get a shield, which is great. We'll have to see how much damage this Leaf Blade does. So I'm going to go ahead and actually let this first one go through. I really want to see how much damage it'll do, and it's a respectable amount, so I'm going to have to start shielding now, and I will go ahead and try to throw the Dark Pulse, but they get to another one in time. So we will just block this one and see what they decide to do. They're deciding to swap into Dugong, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Alolan Graveler right here. Again, very positive matchup for us. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Rock Blast, and we should be able to land this and basically farm down. So they do decide to no-shield it. That's fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and just farm down. Now, I decided to no-shield right here thinking it's Icy Wind, and I made a critical mistake. It was a Water Pulse. Oh, it lands, and they completely take Switch, and I know with every ounce of my being that there is a Walrein in the back. You guys know it. I know it. This battler is laughing on the other side because he just boomed me. So we're going to have to go for a Dark Pulse now and try our best to just try to recover from this game, because we were in control of this whole match. But because I decided to no shield a Water Pulse and is a Walrein in the back, they were actually going to be able to take this one. Remember, Lurantis is loaded on energy as well, so it's going to be able to clean me out right here, as Leaf Blades do super effective damage to Regirock. Now, it's a matter of how much energy. I think I can survive a Leaf Blade, so I'm going to go ahead and shield and look to throw a Stone Edge here. I want to try to get rid of the Lurantis, obviously, but we will be getting the final shield from them, and it's going to be a race to see if I can get to the next one in time, but they do get to the Leaf Blade right before I get to the Stone Edge right there. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. This does an incredible amount of damage, and I really won't have enough. I try to overload as well, and they get to a third one. I won't have enough to take it out. So had I thrown right there, maybe I could have beaten Walrein, but I think Walrein would have gotten to the Icicle Spear in time, and I won't be able to Shadow Claw down as well. So that's going to be a good game to my opponent. Great job landing the Water Pulse on me in the mid game. I was not expecting that. I was expecting the Icy Wind and farm down, but good game, very well played. All right, getting into the next battle here. We have Cofagrigus on the lead versus Jellicent. Pretty positive matchup for us, considering we have Shadow Claw here versus Hex, so that just the raw damage output is incredible. But we're going to have to see how this Jellicent decides to play this. I am kind of concerned about the shield bait with Bubble Beam, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the Dark Pulse here, get a shield from my opponent, do one more Shadow Claw, and just swap into Regirock to catch the charge move. Again, I am concerned about the Bubble Beam shield bait, so I'm going to go ahead and catch that Shadow Ball, which is fine with me, and we do see a Vigoroth come in, so this is kind of tough right here. Vigoroth having counter can obviously do an incredible job versus Regirock, but they decide to throw the Body Slam, which is going to be resisted, and this is going to allow me to get to the Stone Edge in time. Even though this is only neutral damage, it's from a Regirock, and it hurts. That does an incredible amount of damage for me. Now, the Vigoroth decides to farm, or not decides to farm down, farms me down with counter, which is completely fine. I'm going to come in with Cofagrigus right here and just look to throw the Dark Pulse pretty much right away, as I just want to get this Vigoroth out of there. I don't want to take any extra damage from Bulldoze, as I know versus Jellicent, I have a 2-to-1 shield advantage, so we'll have to see what they decide to come in with. They're going to come in with Altaria, which is fine with me. I'm going to go ahead and throw Dark Pulse here just to chip it down, but Alolan Graveler, right, can sweep this game, which I am perfectly fine with. So we will swap out now into the Graveler, and they bring in the Jellicent. So I'm going to go ahead and just load up on energy, throw the Rock Blast right here, looking to get the final shield from my opponent. We'll shield whatever they decide to throw, and then just farm down. So we do get the shield, and we are going to go ahead and farm down, but they decide to surrender, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. Alolan Graveler, I'm telling you everyone, especially last week, it did incredibly well. Alright, so we got Primeape on the lead, a Pokemon that can shred apart this whole team. It has access to Night Slash, and obviously as a counter user, it can destroy my backline. So we got to be very careful right here. I'm going to go ahead and no shield the first Night Slash, as I'm concerned about a potential boost, and the boosted Night Slash will do way more damage. Now we will throw this Dark Pulse here. It is going to be resisted, but it's honestly going to do a decent amount of resisted damage where we can force a shield from our opponent. I will give up one shield on the next Night Slash, that way I can get a Dark Pulse off in time, but I'm going to have to trust in Alolan Graveler and Regiseal to sweep this game, because I don't think I'm going to be able to win the lead right here with the speed at which it can throw these Night Slashes. So here comes the next Dark Pulse. If we get the second shield, I'm going to go ahead and let Cofagrigus go down, and we do get the second shield. So we're going to try our best to farm down with Shadow Claw, but they go ahead and throw the next Night Slash. That's fine by me. I will let this go. I'm going to come in with that Alolan Graveler and farm down with Volt Switch. Lock On isn't going to do enough damage, and Alolan Graveler's Volt Switch, I should be able to get it out in 2, and we do. So next Pokemon coming in is going to be Cradily. So I'm going to go ahead and throw Stone Edge right here. I should have just swapped out into Regirock because I do have Focus Blast, but let's see what they decide to do. We land it. I know they're going to be going for the Grass Knot, so I'm going to have to shield it as I don't know what's in the back, and I'm going to have to keep Alolan Graveler alive, so I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I decided to no-shield it. No-shield the Grass Knot, come in with Regirock, reading that they are probably weak to Regirock in the back, as they brought in something that isn't really a hard counter to Rock-type Pokemon, right? So we're going to go ahead, stop that Grass Knot. I mean, I guess Grass Knot is a hard counter, but it's not like it's a Primeape, right? So we're going to go ahead, throw the Stone Edge right here, take out the Cradily, and we'll have to see what is going to be in the back. So Cradily goes down, final Pokemon run, it's going to be a Frostlass. That's looking to be a good game. Very well played. Stone Edge right here. Going to do a ton of damage, and this is why, because of the lack of steals, a lot of Pokemon that are weak to rock are now in the meta, so that's going to be a good game. Very well played. Okay, moving to the next one. We got Cofagrigus versus Altaria. Okay, so I'm guessing there might be a Swampert in the back, so I got to swap into Regirock right away and draw this thing out. Now, Altaria is deciding to stay in, so maybe they are, in fact, weak to rock in the back, but that would be... I wouldn't guess that. So I'm going to guess there's going to be something that comes in, maybe a Fighter or Swampert, but they decide to finally swap out, and it's actually going to be a Nidoqueen. So both Stone Edge here and Focus Blast are resisted, so we're just going to go for the same type attack bonus here and just chip away the health. Nidoqueen as well is going to have to throw an Earth Power against us in order to take us out. It could throw Poison Fang and try to farm down, but honestly, if I get to one more Stone Edge like we already have two, it's going to be a wrap. I will force that second shield from my opponent, so they will throw the charge move here. We're letting it go. I'm really hoping that it's going to be a Poison Fang, but Earth Power, so be it, takes us out. Cofagrigus, actually, the Regi held on, as you guys saw right there, with 1 HP in a dream. So we actually swapped in the Cofagrigus here to farm down and force the energy there from Nidoqueen. So we'll have to see what decides to come in. It's going to be Altaria, and we will have to see if Alolan Graveler can sweep this game here, as we do get the final shield with Dark Pulse. I am kind of concerned that there might be Medicham in the back too, but I don't think there will be. So we're going to go ahead and shield the Sky Attack. I don't know. I'm like, is there a Swampert in the back? Is there not? Is there a Fighter in the back? Is there not? I'm going to go ahead and double shield and call that there is a Fighter, and I'm going to need Cofagrigus with a Shadow Ball here, but it's actually going to be a Swampert. So this is going to be tough right here, because Swampert hidden in the back is probably one of the toughest things for this team to take on, especially when we have no shields left, and that is looking to be a good game. I try to catch the charge move there on Regirock, but we don't get it, so they farm us down, and you guys can see the writing on the wall. This is going to be a good game. But yeah, it was kind of interesting that they brought in Nidoqueen to Regirock. I definitely thought we would have saw the Swampert there, which is why I utilized it as a safe swap to draw out Swamperts. But either way, good game to my opponent. This Swampert's absolutely going to destroy me. I'll boom myself. It's fine. Boom! Nearly one-shots, and they farm me down, and that's going to be a good game. Very well played. All right. Moving into the next battle, we got Cofagrigus versus Electrode. Okay, so Electrode, you guys know a lot from the Kanto Cup, has access to Discharge, Hyper Beam, Foul Play, and Foul Play is the move that I am concerned about. So I'm going to go ahead and give up a shield right here, and it's all going to be a tell of what they actually have. They throw the Discharge, so I'm guessing this is going to be a Hyper Beam Electrode here, so we're going to go ahead and throw the Dark Pulse, and I'm going to look to swap into Regi on the next charge move on 3. So we're going to go ahead and swap to catch the charge move, but they still load up, and they're going for the charge move now. So if this is, in fact, Hyper Beam, it's actually going to be resisted because of our typing. So unfortunately for them, it is a Hyper Beam. Fortunately for us, that is all their energy gone, and we do see a Trevenant come in. Now, Trevenant right here with only 1 shield is going to be tough to beat a Regirock, because look at how much damage that Stone Edge does. We are going to be able to get to another one in time as well before they can even get to the Seed Bomb. So that is going to be a good mid game. We do take it out as well. So Trevenant's completely gone. Still have Cofagrigus, still have Alolan Graveler, and they are going to try to farm me down, but I get to the next Stone Edge in time as well. So Alolan, the Electrode right here is really not liking this Regirock right now. So we're going to go ahead, bring in Alolan Graveler to catch the charge move, because I'm guessing they're going to throw Discharge right away, knowing that Cofagrigus might have come in, and we actually resist it. We're going to go ahead and now swap into the Cofagrigus and load up on some energy, throwing the Dark Pulse before they can get to another Discharge. And we'll have to see what that final Pokemon is, but we have plenty of health, plenty of energy, and a shield still left on our side, and is going to be the Walrein. So that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent. And that was the final battle. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This team was a lot of fun to use. Alolan Graveler absolutely sweeps teams, except for when there is a Swampert hidden in the back and Regirock doesn't draw it out. So good games to my opponents today. Hope you guys enjoyed this meta and this video. And like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.